My name is Bojanna Ginn. I am interdisciplinary artist and a former biologist and MD. And in my work, I join art, science, and technology. And I join them in order to make sculptures, installations, photographs, drawings, different kind of artistic media. I'm going to tell you a little bit how biology influences my work and also how I use technology. So everything starts with a vision. Should I move? Is this better? It seems like if I move this way, I hear myself better. Doesn't matter? Okay. So everything starts with a vision. And I was thinking what kind of future I would like to see. And for me, environmental healing is like very important. And I hope that in future we will use organic materials and technologies that harvest sun's energy in a way that does not pollute. And so I was thinking of what kind of form I should make. And as you know, artists often speak with metaphors. So I was thinking I want to build something, some kind of platonic form, a cube or a rectangular prism. And because it talks about utopias. And I built this form with a 100% organic material. This is mammalian hair. So it's basically protein and DNA. And this material for tens of thousands of years, it's been like felted or made into a thread. And so what I did, I just meticulously spread those fibers and reveal the microcosmos of organic materials. And that's what I want to do. I want viewer to look inside the microcosmos of organic material and search for answers there. The form rests on a light pedestal, and I have used first LEDs and then some outdoor solar panels. But I hope that that energy, because of people like you, will become even more sophisticated. These are some other examples of these visions. The second part of my work is experimentation. I'm interested in systems, biological systems and artistic systems. And biological systems are interesting because they create life, and life makes form. And as an artist, I'm very much interested in form. And I've been working with this little system. It's a molecule. It's called cytosine. It's found inside DNA and RNA. And a couple of years ago, scientists got really serious proof that this little molecule started life. So 3.5 billion years ago, this body popped out, and now we have this conference and in New York and the whole world outside. And it's like pretty amazing. So I was wondering, how can I study both structure and function of this molecule and somehow translate it into artistic arrangements or installations. And I switched elements for drawings and sculptures from my imagination. And the first experiment that happened was this installation. You can see, if I go back, technology, I utilize it as an object, as an aesthetic object, because I think it's beautiful and elegant and sexy. But it also is a carrier of function in this installation. So if you see the computer at the bottom, there's a video displayed there. And then that video is projected through a projector and goes through a sculpture on the wall. So it's self-replicated. It's the same video, but it's replicated in something different. And then it's filmed by camera, so it creates the third copy that looks like something else. It's a very evolutionary process. You know, it's how biology works. It repeats something, but it mutates, and so that's how biodiversity is created. This is a little bit closer look. Of course, self-replication, how we replicate biologically, and different layers. With systems, you always have layers of meanings, and you can read them in a different ways. So because I liked that experiment, I decided to repeat it, and I just switched like different sculptures for for elements. And then I got this piece and this one. This installation was called Record Play Loop. I've started with a drawing in space, which is like this big knotted sculpture, and it created a shadow, and I would trace that shadow and make a drawing. And then I would take that drawing and put it in a creative software. I use everything from 2D, like Photoshop or Illustrator, to Rhino. I like parametric meshes, to video, like After Effects, Premiere. And after I create the video, drawing kind of becomes a process. And then if I introduce a color, I get another video, and forms from that video create new sculptures. So it's a system that keeps growing, but it's a system that investigates the line. What can line become? You know, line starts like an imagination in artist's brain. And then it goes usually to a pencil, but then you can take it in the space into a 3D form. You can take it into a video as a 4D form. You can photograph it, and it always changes. Like, it's very evolutionary process. These are some detail from that system. The most recent one is just a video where I have created this mesh, parametric mesh in Rhinoceros, and out of it I made a video, and then I break the videos in mini videos and expose them on the right, and on the left I just mutate that initial video. And these works, they don't refer for something on the outside. They don't tell the story. They are just like a visual music about what line can become and how can change. Discovery. So discovery is my favorite part, and I like kind of discovery that happens accidentally. So because I make these structures, they are very temporary, and they live through documentation. They live through photograph or video. So I was photographing them, and I got this really nice new camera. And I really don't know anything about cameras. But I do know a few things about microscopes. And you know, this camera came together with all kind of lenses and zooms. And so I was really playing with technology. And at the one moment, I started getting these images. They got my attention. They were beautiful, but they were also drawings. And I'm interested in drawing. And they are also looking biological, like something that you would find underneath, you know, lenses of microscope. And so I just kept going. These are desaturated. Some keep their color, but they look like, you know, something that moves. And so I kept going and make lots of these. These magenta ones are actually photographs from that installation that you see with that big protein sculpture. There's another one. Now, as an artist and as a scientist, you know, you notice patterns. And my work also is connected in very interesting ways to biomathematics, and I don't have time for that now. But I just made this graph to show you how the images on the left, like forms inside my photographs, are so similar to loops and braids of DNA, and so similar to formalisms of mathematical knot theory and braid theory. And for me, it's like a wonderful to start with the DNA and then to rediscover it in these images with you kind of subconsciously without me planning. And I just want to finish with the vision. You know, while I was listening to these speeches, it occurred to me that all these amazing technological things that we do today were actually first imagined. We read them in science fiction books, and we saw them like in Star Trek and Star Wars and all the other writings, and which really got me thinking of, you know, if we want to reimagine the future, create some kind of better world, maybe we should reimagine our expectations and visions for future. That's all. Thank you.